Tuchiwawa.
Effort.
Hello, happy Sunday. Welcome to the Insaka Talk Show. My name is Priska. Today is Sunday. We are talking about why is divorce rate so high, highly requested topic. Before we get into that, we have a special guest. He is amazing. I think everybody by now in the diaspora know who Henry Sakala is. Before I do that, let me say hello to my co-host all the way from the Shy Town. I don't know if it's raining today, if it's sunny today. You look very bright and lovely. The president of Chicago, the female herself. Hello, my darling. You look amazing.
Thank you. If that introduction came with money, I'll be rich, yo. But thank you so much. No, it's not raining. It's a gloomy day, but it's not raining. And I don't have anything I'm doing this afternoon, so I'll just chill in the house.
You look amazing. And all the way from England, London, the Queen herself, sipping on tea because she had a very, very successful event yesterday. That was amazing. The manager of New Jersey, Winnie Musonda, I always call her Winnie Musonda Hope Foundation. For those of you who do not know, Winnie has a foundation where she supports children, orphans that lost their parents to HIV/AIDS, which is either you're affected or infected, which is an amazing thing. That's how Winnie and I met. That's the only reason I wanted to be a friend anyway. Winnie from New Jersey, how are you, my love?
Oh my gosh, thank you. That introduction today was just epic. I'm great. I'm getting better. My cough is better. I had a good event yesterday. And then after that, we had a party, after party by Sarah Malenga. Amazing. So it was just a good day. Yeah, so.
That's good.
And of course, Nelly is not with us, guys. Nelly Ali Samoa, she was on vacation. She just arrived today. She may or may not join us later, but I think everybody knows who Nelly is. Before we go into the topic and unpack what is happening in your community, Irene?
Nothing. Just a beautiful me and the beautiful weather outside.
It is beautiful today. Whitney, what is happening?
Even ask my stuff in my community. I had a tea party, of course. I think I'm going to share some photos with you guys. It was amazing. But before I go to my community, something is happening in my community. My closest friend, Mate, me and Mate, we've come a long way. 20 years planned friendship. We're just not sisters. We're just not friends. We are sisters. And we just lost a sister back home. And it's just something very hard. So I just want to acknowledge that. Like, Mate, our thoughts goes to you. And we love you. And we care for you. And it's going to be well with time.
Yeah.
Air hugs. Mate, air hugs.
Air hugs, air hugs. We love you.
Yeah.
Yes. Put you in prayers. Now, back to my community. So at tea party, this lady is Miss Kunda. She came and she helped to facilitate the women. So all the women look beautiful. That's Whooper in the middle. That's Penny. Nice. It was just like women at some point, like I say, we need to pour into each other, support each other. It was amazing to see this beautiful women.
That's beautiful, guys.
I know.
I like to see women together like that.
I know. And I'm hoping as time goes on, we are in diaspora. Guys, let's try to attend each other's women, whatever that we're doing, support each other. I'll tell you one thing. Priska was not with me, but every time I was running around, what do you think? Nah, she was there the whole entire time. Irene, I'll call you. Hey, what are you doing? Are you okay? Is everything okay? So guys, you got to have a village. I have a village and I'm grateful. So that's it, my community.
And not only that, we were not able to attend, but we still bought tickets because we know where that money is going to supporting kids. Guys, just a meal a day, if you're taking medication, makes a difference. So it's even though the tea party is gone, I just encourage everybody to Zelle money, Cash App money. It's only $40. What do we do with $40? So the support still goes on. You can still send money, but
then you can give me 1 second. Sorry, not to cut you short.
No, go ahead.
And like Winnie's outfit, she had to ask all of us, what color can I wear gloves with this dress? And if you're going to a tea party and you don't know how to combine the two, feel free to ask another woman to say, I'm wearing a green dress. What kind of gloves am I going to wear? things like that. It's just,
I got a yellow dress, Irene, and I
you all
actually,
know.
You sent it right back.
she was like, Anya, send it right back. It's going back.
And then she had these gloves that look like she's in the nursing home. I'm like, they gotta go. They gotta go.
So thank you
So
guys. Thank you for your
today,
support. And especially being a Women's Month, thank you for your support.
No problem.
before we get into the Women's Month, what are the ice-breaking questions?
Oh, the
Okay.
question. Sorry about that.
What life lesson did you learn as a child that impacts you? that impacts who you are today, Irene?
Well, my mom was a very good cook. And her belief was when you're cooking in the kitchen, you have to cook in a clean kitchen. So she believes that you have to cook and clean, because her thought was by the time you're done cooking, your kitchen is clean. Because until today, I cannot eat after I finish cooking if my kitchen is dirty. Yeah. If
That's
the
what
kitchen is
you're
dirty,
like.
I cannot eat. I'll wait until maybe after a few hours when I clean, that's when I eat.
Winnie, what about you?
Oh, one thing I learned, my mom is a tailor. She used to sew clothes for us, and I learned something. I'm a tailor myself. I sew clothes.
We don't see those beautiful
You
clothes.
don't see them.
So no, you better start using that.
You know what? I should have. I can't get up on. I could maybe after commercial, I'll come with something.
Yes, please show us what you.
Yeah. All right.
For me is my dad. My dad always instilled in me as you can do whatever you want. You can be whoever you want if you believe in it. He always said, don't put away what you can do today for tomorrow. Like just hardworking. And I'm always wanting to do better. And now when I sit down and I think, I'm like, you know what? My dad was right. Believe in yourself.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I like what your dad said because I think it resonates with me. I sit on stuff too much.
Yeah.
If he was my dad, he would be like, Iwe, right now, what did I tell you yesterday? Up.
Another thing is that something that does not think cannot defeat your mind.
Oh.
Something that doesn't think. If this glass is broken and it doesn't think, and I think I can use glue and I can fix it. So I always think about that.
Nice.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
What blows your mind every time you think about it, Irene?
Whoa.
How the pilot can fly the plane in the air. I'm telling you, since I was a kid, how does a pilot take this big heavy thing and manage to fly up in the air and then it lands? Like how? It doesn't have somebody pushing it. I mean, this is just my childhood.
That's a good one.
But until today, I'm fascinated.
Winnie?
I'm fascinated. Even now, even if I've gone to school, and this is stupid too. So
there's no stupid
There's
answer.
no stupid
No, because it's like even if I've done biology, the little 2 cents that I have, just how the babies conceive. I know I've seen the sperm goes in there, but just the
development.
Yeah.
It's just like up to now, I'm always like, hey, because it's just like from nothing to this, and then now we are here, and then now you see your children. So you're like I'm always like, it's amazing, and it blows my mind.
Like this one is for me. Yeah. For me is Valesa. God. God is amazing. Like, especially if I want something, I'll fast and pray for it and it comes to pass. I'm just like, how does it work from here to here? You carry me and you carry me and you carry me and you still support me. So every time I think about God, people have questions. Who's your God? Who do you pray to? Who's your higher power?
Yeah.
But the one that I pray to fascinates him. Like, God, thank you. Thank you so much. So that's what blows my mind.
And I feel like people should have something they believe in.
Yes.
Yeah, no matter what.
There's power. There's power to believing in something because it checks you. When you do something wrong, you're like, oh my God, how is this person going? Oh, my belief. How are they going to look at this? We should believe in something.
All right. I think before we go there, maybe check what's going on with our family.
Mate,
Mate.
hi. How are you?
Oh,
Love you, Mama.
we send you love and hugs and kisses. Sorry for your loss. We are with you in spirit.
Yes. Ooh, Nelly.
Hi, Nelly.
Kale,
Hi, lady.
kale we
Munandi.
munandi. We missed.
Kupiwe says, "Bless Sunday, ladies." Thank you, Coops.
She said coops. That's a new one.
Yes.
That's a cool one.
Yeah. Oh, greetings from Miami. Thank you so much, Nelly. Afrocentric Queen says, "Same here, Irene. That fascinates me about pilots. That's another friend of mine who wants to be on my pilot."
Husband. This is my husband.
Yeah, I see that. So Vincent says, "Winnie, remind me this week to sell you my small portion of support.
See, that's my range.
Course, I
Fire.
wish you have reached out to the men for contribution as well as though you fund
Yay!
for women." Thank you so
Oh,
much. You see,
yes.
we need
Oh,
men
thank you
support.
so
It
much.
came through. Thank you so much,
We do.
Vincent.
Oh, thank you. Oh, that makes me feel so happy. Let me put my gloves on.
You better not put
Okay,
your
you
gloves on. No, look, to produce.
All right, Coops. I'm calling you Coops today. Kupiwe, congratulations for impacting people's lives in your community as well as the motherland. That's for your tea party, Miss Winnie. Thank you,
so
Coops.
much.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I
All
think
right.
I think we're good now. I think we're gonna go to commercial break and we'll be right back. You think so?
No, we think trending topics.
Trending.
What's trending? Well, you know what? This is fascinating for me. I'll tell you why. So I just bumped into this article for Slap B, Slap D. Slap D is in town. He actually was invited to speak at Harvard. At, the things that he talked about are things that we on Insaka talk about all the time about musicians in Zambia. We always feel like they have so much potential, but they don't have a backbone. And the biggest backbone he was talking about was getting the right manager, because on the panel he was sitting next to the manager for Davido. So he was talking about that and knowing about money, how to monetize your music. You just don't make a million views and likes on TikTok, but you don't know how to make the money. So that's what he was talking about. I felt like that was powerful. And he said he was going to copy the same model and take it to Zambia and sit with the artists and see how they can make the movement big. I was very, very proud of him.
That's nice.
I like the fact that you make it to Harvard. I don't care for what. The fact that you walk into Harvard and you get a chance to speak on a panel, for me,
Yes.
that's just a plus.
Yes.
I don't listen to his music much. I'm just more of a Coppola. But after watching him, he's actually very intelligent and very smart.
Yeah.
And what he said makes sense, because we have a lot of talent in Zambia, a lot. But
Yeah.
people never get to see it because it's not promoted. And it's going to take us Zambians to get our people to the next level.
You want me to say something about that? Pilato is one of the smartest artists there in Zambia. And look
But
what
we are
he is.
talking about Slap D right now.
I'm just saying, like, have
You
a
can't take Slap D's flowers right now.
They're taking his shine.
okay, Slap D.
You
Oh,
can't
sorry.
take that. You can't take that away.
Okay,
Speaking
Slap
of,
D, if you are listening, you see, me and Priska, we don't have anything to
you
do with
can't come here and
what
say
this
Pilato
girl
is the
just
smartest.
said.
I think Slap D is smart.
He is very
Don't
smart.
take his shine away.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch the interview, the Z podcast?
Actually, I did. What was that shed? The shed, girl. Like, come on.
My goodness. Okay.
You know, Mutale Mwanza is one of those people that she'll put anything on the table. You like her or you don't like her, she doesn't care, because she's a free spirit.
It's
I
not
think
even
there are
that,
some
it's for the
things.
numbers.
I can
don't know.
always tell how the interview is gonna go by looking
Yeah.
at Olsen's face and his demeanor when he becomes like.
I know. I loved the interview though. I loved it. I thought it was entertaining.
You know,
One thing I like about Mutale Mwanza, the silence, man. Do you know what do you think about Iris? Who's that?
Yeah.
What?
That's what I said. I enjoyed it.
She
It's
was
not
just-
everything that they throw at you, you have to respond, especially
mean-
if you're a media person, because nobody is going to like everything you do. So I think you should keep on doing what you know best to do. And the people that follow you, they'll follow you.
Yeah.
Every time they throw a stone at you, just duck. That's
Yeah.
it.
I think that's what I wanted to say, that no matter what, these are celebrities. Even Iris, I'm sure she knows. Even 20 months, I knew that if I say this, I don't care. But if you're a celebrity, you got all the followers, the viewers, whatever that you're doing, stay in your lane. No matter what, nobody's going to shake you.
Yeah.
I love
Just
that.
be true to yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. Silence is golden. I always believe you never know what somebody's thinking. Silence is golden.
True.
Let's move on. So I think we can go to commercial.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, but it was funny to see her say, "Who's that?" And then everybody else in the room, they were like, "Mutale Shuwa, you don't know your friend."
She wouldn't not even say her name.
No, she just said the last name.
Oh dear,
No,
I'm
she
not
didn't
saying
even
her name.
mention
But
the
she
name.
said the first name.
No, nothing came out of her mouth.
She was like, "Who's that?"
Oh, who's that?
Nothing. Like, I'm not going to acknowledge you. I will not speak your name. She's a Libra. That's how they are.
I'd
Okay,
like
lady.
to meet her.
Yes,
I'm
so-
going in December, so I'll make sure I meet her.
I'm going in August.
Nice. I'm not going to Zambia this year.
Goodbye. Go to
It's okay.
Jamaica.
Do you run a nonprofit organization in the education, health, and human services sectors? Do you need grant funding for your organization? Or do you need help developing programs to help you raise money for your nonprofit organization? At Vibrant Funding, our mission is to connect our nonprofit partners in the education, health, and human services sectors to the financial resources required to achieve their mission. We support nonprofit organizations based in and operating in the United States and Africa. We offer the following services to new and established organizations: program development, donor engagement and retention, grants research and writing. Contact us at www.vibrant-funding.com or email us at info@vibrant-funding.com. Call us at 404-751-6802 to learn more about our services and how we can help you to have an impact on the world. Vibrant Funding, connecting donors and nonprofits.
Hello and welcome back. If you're just tuning in, this is the Insaka Talk Show. We are talking about why is the divorce rate so high. Ladies, before we introduce our guest, I'm sorry. Let me drink some water.
Drink some
This
H2O.
tea is piping hot.
I mean, she wants.
You're supposed to come with a British accent, you.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna do that again. I think
No.
I'll wait for Priska to say something now.
Would you like to introduce our guest in a British accent?
Today, guys, ladies and gentlemen, and my voice is too hoarse. I can't do that nonsense.
Yes, you can.
Today, guys, the topic is very high, and some of us have been through it. But I just want to introduce my friend, our friend, one of the best friend that I have, a spiritual brother. Like, listen, people knows him, Henry Mazaila. I know him as my spiritual brother. I would call him at midnight and he will pick up the damn phone. It doesn't matter where he is. His name is Henry Mazaila. Welcome, Henry Mazaila.
Thank you so much for that introduction. Ladies, good afternoon, good evening,
Good
good
afternoon.
morning, and good afternoon, good morning, viewers.
Yes, good
Welcome
afternoon.
to the Insaka Talk Show. We thought, who's the best person that can come here and tell us about ourselves and things that we're doing wrong? So we learn how to Remember you told us that?
Yeah.
Because it was part of the topic here at that particular moment. So we had to say the way it is, There's no need of going behind. That's how we felt to educate ourselves, by going behind.
You're a straight shooter. You're a straight shooter. That's the beauty about you.
It depends on the occasion, yes.
not to cut you short, not only is he Winnie's friend, but Henry's been a pillar of the Zambian community in the diaspora.
Yeah.
He's done so many things. I had a conversation with him when the president came, and there's nothing that Henry doesn't know. You talk about taxes, you talk about business, he's very diverse, so he's a very smart, intelligent person, and there's no dull moment without him.
Nope.
Yeah. So
Hallelujah.
people ask, we just wanted, before we get into it, do you want to define what marriage is for us before we get into it? What is marriage?
Okay. Well, thank you so much for allowing me to come on this platform of Insaka. You ladies, you're amazing. You are doing a great thing. And you are inspiring a lot of people to look beautiful, to be straight and to be upright in our society. And on that, I give you thumbs up and continue doing it. And never let anything take you back or put you down. Keep moving.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Marriage, it is a God-ordained covenant, or rather an agreement, or a relationship between a man and a woman. And it can also be defined as a legal union between a man and a woman. That's the way we can define marriage. And you understand that since it is a covenant ordained by God, anything that God ordained, an opposer rises, and who is the devil. So when we are talking about marriage, it has an attack. Since it is an ordained thing from God, and it has an attack from somebody who we know. We're going to go in details depending how we are going to flow on this program, this afternoon, this morning, this evening. Depends wherever you're hearing from. Hallelujah. Over to you.
What do you think about common law marriage?
Common is good. It's common law because it was anything came into existence after people examining it and finding that it's good. So common law marriage is good.
How come you live with nothing?
But can you elaborate a little bit on that, so when some viewers that don't know what common law marriage is can understand that?
I'll give you an example. Like in common law here in New Jersey, in America, many people don't know. If you live with somebody for more than a year, whether you have gone in front of a judge or what, you are legally married.
Yes, sir.
Under common law. And I think that's a good thing, because some people take advantage of others. Common law protects you from being abused or from being taken as an outcast, whereby somebody will bring up I've never even stood in front of a judge and marry you and make vows. But common law is good because it protects you in such a situation.
You're right.
That's good.
I'm here.
Oh, can you hear me?
We can
hear you.
We can hear you loud and clear.
No, I was just saying, it's really good when you talk about the common law marriages, because there are some people when they marry you and then they think you don't deserve anything. What do you do with those people?
Well,
especially back home. I mean, I'm just saying, back home, you get married, you don't have nothing, and then when you leave, they just say, "Oh, you didn't have nothing when you came here, so for that, you go with your 3 kids and that's it."
No, actually, even here in America, that thing are there. When you go to, you saw what do you call it? That is documented. Yeah.
Yeah, the prenuptial agreement.
A prenuptial agreement. What is yours is yours. What is mine is mine.
Mm-hmm.
I think back home it used to be like this, but with change of things, it's no longer there. Societies are changing, and a lot of things are being put in place to protect the woman. And it's being done.
Okay, that's good.
But to me, I feel like common law marriages, if you're living together, sometimes like in the century where we are now, sometimes people live together because of maybe they agree on paying bills together and stuff. And then maybe one of the partners doesn't know that after 1 year you are legally married. And then when the claims start coming after a year, you're like, wait a minute.
Well, legal is when it's on paper. I'm sorry to cut you short.
It's not on paper. It's not on paper. That's what he said.
No, it's not on paper.
Living together, just living together, you should differentiate things. Sharing an apartment and living together as partners or people who are having sexual intercourse are two different things.
Yeah.
So if you are into and she's into, if the man is into her and she's into him, that's a different thing.
Wow.
All right, we can change it to that.
Yeah.
What's the most common reason for the divorce?
You know, this topic is so broad that if we start breaking down one thing after the other, we can spend the whole night, the whole day.
Yeah.
See, thing that causes divorce mainly, instead of me talking about abuse, you know, there is abuse, violence, there is young age, financial, extramarital affairs, and people getting into marriage without knowing what they want. The question is, when motion starts, and then I'm ready to marry. No, those people are not fit, and that's why we're having this kind of situation. But now I'm saying this: extramarital affairs is one of number one on the list that causes divorces. If you go to marriage counselors, they'll tell you that among the people they have counseled, about 50%, they have acknowledged, and they have acknowledged having extramarital affairs. And you know, if we just say extramarital affairs, we have to ask ourselves, what brings about extramarital affairs?
Yes,
I was about to ask.
Because we can just say, oh, she's having another girl. He's having another girl. Oh, she's doing that. There are so many things that we overlook in marriage. You know, it's like when you sweep dirty, it won't be just small dirty. You sweep it under the carpet. It's just a little small dirty. Again, tomorrow, you do the same thing. You sweep the dirty under the carpet. With time, that dirty will accumulate. Before you know it, it will start showing outside.
Yeah.
By the time it shows outside, it's too late. The bacteria have started under the carpet. Now everything is waste. Sometimes we ignore some signs.
Financial too. I
also think that's the second. That's the second one. You know, when we say, in fact, when you say finance, what do you mean? Because we have seen people with money having divorces. We have seen people without money having divorces. So money plays both ways.
I'll say something to cut you short on Henry about that part. It's not just about money or rich or whatnot, poor. I think sometimes is when you are going to marriage as young people, like we'll go back to our parents. Maybe they stayed in marriage, they had us and they were together for a long time, maybe because they went through counseling, or maybe they understood what marriage was. But nowadays, everything is microwaved. I see you, I like you, we kiss, tomorrow we're going to court or we're getting married. I feel like before relationship, remember they used to do courtship, and all kind of thing. And from there, you become engaged. From there, they do whatever they're doing. 2 years later, you get married. But nowadays, we are not shimmering into the courtship. We are not understanding what we're supposed to be doing before we get married. Because guess what? When you meet somebody else, the love is spikes. These sparkles. It's
part of the thing. That's why we are saying, I'll give you the statistics of Zambia. Every man who dies in Zambia, especially if he had little money,
I'm sorry.
understand that there will be 5 houses who lose the man, or 4 or 3, just because that we have a law which says a man is married to 1 woman, but the reality is different. They have this extramarital affairs. Actually, you find that you think our dad has died. There was a guy who thought that we thought our dad has died, and we thought we were the only family. But only to find that there was another family.
Yeah.
And coming to extramarital affairs, we cannot blame a woman and we cannot blame a man. We have to blame each other.
Yeah.
Understand one thing. Before we see divorce outside, sometimes there is already emotional divorce, which takes place within the house.
Yeah.
That emotional divorce, it accumulates. After it accumulates, it starts killing maybe the affection, or it starts killing you to be attracted to your husband or to your wife. Instead, you find that your husband was rushing from work to come and see you at home. This time, even stops rushing to come home. He passes somewhere, he finds you already sleeping. That's when he walks in.
Yeah.
So emotional divorce accumulates, then the real divorce which we see outside. And sometimes, I'll speak as a man, as it is. You find a man goes to sleep with a prostitute or another woman, and they say, yeah, so now, since you have found that there is even these other styles which will make you, I'm not talking about old men, young men who are vibrant. Men are explorer, they explore. And it's through exploring, sometimes they find something different, and that something different affects the house.
But there's nothing wrong with saying, okay, can we do something different? Especially like talking about intimacy, right?
Intimacy.
Can we do something different? Like I think Irene said it before. Like when you go to your partner and you say, "Can we do something different?" They'll be like, "Give what's that? Where did you learn this?"
No, before you knew me, I was out there. It's not that. Of course, yes, we have to be real and realistic. People explore, people know things through different avenues.
Right.
And that's what we are talking about, that sometimes a marriage becomes boring. And when a woman brings out, because women were a little bit trying to keep our name safe. When we start hearing other stories outside, we want to make our name safe, our marriage name. So you go to your husband and say, hey, I was talking to my friend and this works for them. And then instead of just falling for that, you now start bringing fire in the house. Where did you learn all these things? That's what we're talking about. So how do you stop that?
That's being enclosed of a man. You are enclosed. You need to be open-minded. You are saying something which you learned from your friend, and you're bringing it into the house, and he hasn't seen it from you. Yeah. So you're trying to introduce it. Why should he get mad when it's something you have just got from somewhere? And
this is fine, right? But one thing you should know, for a woman to ask you something, then we know our intuition is so strong, or we know something. We just don't come out and say, oh, this and this and this.
In fact, is your husband, right? You know him better, and you know the best approach to bring something on the table to him.
Well,
because if in I'll give you an example. Even women, you also have issues which makes you detached from a man emotionally. Mm-hmm. I'll give you an example. If you're a mother, you are with kids 24/7. and maybe you work. He works, you work too. You come home, you are trying to take care of the kid, and Shima is on the stove, is in the living room, flipping the remote instead of chipping in.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't talk, but it's hurting you. With time, it starts accumulating, and that starts injuring other. It's a reaction to other stuff.
So you're saying communication, right?
Yes. Wansanga omwana kashamba okwasuka fimbisiri wachimubisha mpera kwa mesha tetuibulire. It's not because she wanted.
Actually, sometimes it becomes too much. I'm your wife. I'm not your maid. I'm not here to just. You're literally here. You can get up and get your own water. I think at that point you just be like, come on now, you're calling me from upstairs. You're literally here. You can get your own water.
Correct. Yeah. So because we said the main thing that causes divorce is infidelity,
right?
Extramarital affairs, and we're asking how does extramarital affairs come about? It doesn't just come boom. Sometimes it's ulunkumbwa, enviness.
Yeah, it's true.
Wamwana fewini na pauda na moneka bwino na shano tumavereka via pavela. You know, you have to. That's true.
No, but Henry, on that one, I'm gonna disagree with you. If you're married, you are meant to just be with your wife. Yes, you can see another woman look beautiful, but you have to go home and you know what? I love my wife. I love the woman I'm with. It doesn't matter because remember, all the roses in the garden.
You don't have to look crazy and dirty and because no.
Winnie, whatever you are saying is true, but the reality is not what you're putting on the table.
It's true. It's true.
Winnie, sit up.
You know, like everybody is saying, it takes two for a marriage or a relationship to work. It doesn't mean that you married this guy and then you just let go. He comes home, you have been cooking the whole day, you have sauce everywhere. He's not going to be attracted to that.
Sometimes to Ranaka, please.
Oh, it's the other way around. No. This is just not the woman. It could be the man. Men slack a lot. You find they wear the same boxers 365 days.
Yeah,
they don't smell good.
See something. Yeah, you don't smell good anymore. So it's a turn off. So there's a lot of things in play. But before we go to the next
I want to check
question, I wanna go to our viewers. They have a lot of things to say here.
Okay, we can start from here.
Yeah, we can start from okay. Miss Koopy, you can start from there. One of the main reasons that causes divorce is lack of communication, which Henry, you just said it, like, you know, you don't know what your partner is thinking. You're just quiet. You're not expressing yourself. They're not going to guess why you're mad. So say something, you know. I think that's where
I think counseling also could help. Like, you don't have to do a group counseling. You can just do a separate one based on what you're like. If we are doing separate sessions, right? I'm here, the counselor is telling me this and he's telling my husband what I'm going to learn. I'm going to use that on my husband and learn it. So when it comes to communication, if you cannot talk to your partner, but why can you not even talk to your partner if you're married?
Yeah, you're right.
Follow-up risk.
Afosento Queen says top reasons are finances, communication, infidelity, abuse, and incompatibility, whatever that is.
You're not compatible.
You have to be compatible.
That's true. You have to be compatible.
There's a lot of couples that are not compatible.
Oh yeah, it's day and night.
Because of the situation they found themselves in, and they get married, and you find that in that marriage is tug of war.
Get married too quick, like Winnie said. You don't even know each other. You don't know what you like to do together. You don't know what's your favorite thing. Like the husband watches horror movies and you watch comedy. You don't learn that.
And peer pressure. I think people go into marriage due to peer pressure. Your friend is getting married, she's organizing a wedding, and then you rush the guy that you're talking to, and then in the end you get married early. This guy doesn't even feel marriage. The next thing, you're not gonna feel like you're in a marriage. You feel like a roommate.
Pretty Sole says this topic is so sensitive. Some of us, we don't bring anything on the social media, killing us inside. Cheating is worse in marriage. That is true.
Yes, that is true.
That is true, and I would take that.
You know,
that is
many
very...
things. When we talk about cheating, most of the time it's associated with men, but that's not true. Women cheat, and they cheat a lot.
Because
no. They have been. Let me finish. They have been cheating. The only thing that they know how to cheat better than men. Men, when they cheat, if they eat a chicken, you even see the soup dripping from there. You know, it's easy to catch a man who is cheating than a woman. Just because the women do it better, it doesn't mean that they're not cheating.
There is a saying in Zambia that says, "Ichupo cha mwana kashita chitobe ng'anda." I think that's what most women that have been taught, they stick to that. It was very hard for a Zambian woman to cheat until men, Zambian men, became very disrespectful. You even know, oh, but then my girlfriend was chanda. That's that. So women now started revenging and started cheating with the bodybuilders, with the gym, with the trainers, because they just got tired enough of that cheating shit from men.
No, I would say, but I'll go back to this one. Pretty, and I'm gonna say my own little 2 cents of experience. I've been married, divorced, 2 kids, and how I did it. I'm gonna summarize a little bit because I won't put
I'll just leave it on the screen so people can see.
Yeah, I won't put up my partner. The father to my kids is one of the good fathers. He loves his kids. We grew out of love. And then I'm gonna say this because when you are, like Priska said, and that's why I raised up this, we were taught shipikisha. What do you say, Priska, again?
The other way around.
Something like that.
So
you can actually say that in English for our viewers that don't understand.
In English, I don't know how to translate it.
The cheating of a man cannot destroy the marriage.
Destroy the marriage. Exactly. So you sit down, one, because you don't know. And then for women, you've been given everything, you've been taken care of, you eat, you're fine, you have a car, you have children, you are home taking care of the kids. And your friend cheated, and you tell your family, and then you tell your family, and then they'll tell you, for me, it was emotionally, because you become emotional as you're young. You just emotionally abuse because you don't know. It goes and do something, and then you come home and you forgive. And then, ladies and gentlemen, once you forgive, second time, third time, get out.
Because how about the first time?
No, sometimes, right? It depends in your situation. There are so many reasons, right? And I believe once you go into those vows, there is forgiveness because you don't know what happened and you were young. But when you're in those vows and you believe in two of you, you try to stick on it. But is it worth it? So you pray, you kneel down. Is this worth it? So you try, but you try 3 times, just let it go. And it's sometimes we meet people for a reason in the season. You could be the one who said, God said, I'm going to have kids with you. And then this was a reason, this was a moment. And I left. And it's okay. But sometimes we try to stay in the marriages. We're hurting. And then we can't even, like, we look crazy. Like, I know myself. You look crazy without people knowing that you're crazy. And it hurts for women, especially when you have kids.
Can I say this? You know,
we have a question when you finish.
No. I don't want to do that right now for that. And for him, I'm taking off.
You know, since marriage is an ordained thing, and a lot of ladies, when they want to go into marriage, when they are praying and when the Lord says no, they say, I bind you, devil. Since they know the age has already passed and so the blessing has come. You understand?
Yeah, I prayed.
And you fast. Listen, is it the God direction? But we want to pray much when we're in marriage, and then we have situation. That's when we start praying hard and whatever, and we want to listen to God. But in the first place, when He was talking, you never listen. And understand, since it's something that is ordained by God, some of the attacks, you can go to any marriage counselor, he will never solve it. They will give you all kind of lesson. It will never work. Why? Because there is a hand of the devil which is against marriage and which is fighting what God has already ordained. When God is working something, because He knows that it's through marriage that there will be generation coming, which makes good community and which makes the country good country. But the devil, since he has an assignment to confuse things, he also fights against that. That's why marriage, they are physical things which causes this divorce we are talking about, and they are spiritual things which comes from the enemy to destroy the institution of marriage, so that there will be confusion in society, which the devil capitalizes on. So as much as we can talk, we shouldn't forget that aspect, that every time pray before you get into marriage and listen to the Lord, so that you don't bind the voice of God. At uingilamo yoga yawe. At yo devil, I bind you, I know you. If you are it's my time, it's my season. Yes, it's your time and it is your season.
And then,
but is it the right one?
Yeah. Before we go to our viewers, I'm gonna say this, Henry. We sometimes as us women, and I'm gonna say to myself, we don't know, especially when we're young, or because everybody says getting married, we don't know, and we think, oh, if I stayed in my marriage, if I have my kids, maybe because I have my kids, this man is not gonna go out. Listen, if you're not compatible with the person, no matter what you do, you can have 50 kids. You can do the best you can do. You can do the best awesome. You know what is? You can have the best sex you could ever give it to this man. If it's not for you, that ordained by God is not for you. We need to start listening to ourselves, and we need to start praying over our marriages. People who are married, like Priska, pray for your husband, because you know this is your husband. If I prayed for my ex-husband, and I asked God, I said, God, if this man that you've given me, I'm going to be with him for the rest of my life, please show me. And I said to him, I don't care what's going to happen. I did 3 days Esther fast. And I said, God, I'm going to ask him one question. If this is what we're going to do, that was 5 years later, I was separated with him. And I said, okay, 5 years later, we're on separation. I'm going to pray. I did Esther fast. Henry's my witness. Like I said, when I say my prayer warrior, you got to have prayer warriors. I did Esther fasting. It was crazy. And I prayed to God, God, give me reason. Show me. Tell me what I need. He's the father of my 2 kids. Do we need to be together? I want to. And I'm going to go real. I want it for my kids are young. I prayed and I asked God, and I said to him, if it's going to hurt me, let it hurt. I want to hear what it's going to say. The whole thing I wanted was like, are we buying a house or we're not buying a house? Because that's what I want to hear. If we're going to be this separated, the reason why you're going to come to my house or us go to your house, I don't want my apartment. I'm not moving. I don't want you to move into my apartment, or we're not moving to your apartment. Me and the kids, we need to buy a house, all 4 of us. He goes, you know what? It's a good thing, but give me like 2 years. And you know what? I walked out. I love him. And I said, thank you very much. That was a clarification from God. And then I walked out. I called my mother-in-law, Mommy, thank you very much for everything. For me today and my ex, we're done. And he thought I was going crazy, and he gave me blessings. I did not date anyone. But guess what? 2 years later, 7 months later, prior to that, after praying the Esther fast and make sure I clear my ex-husband in my head, because I had vision for him, for us. But that's not what God wanted me to do. I had kids with him. I'm the best woman, I thought. I'm beautiful, I thought. But that's not what God wanted me. He wanted me out of that situation. I prayed over it. It hurts when he told me, oh, let's just wait 2 years, let's put the money together. But in my mind, I knew if he wanted us to fix our relationship, listen, this man would have said, you know what, Winnie, how much do you have? I have this much. Let's get a house. But he wanted me to wait. You know what that wait was going to do? Was going to put me in a bar. We were going to be able to have family dinners. We were going to be able to communicate. We were going to be able to act like we're a couple. And then I was taking away my blessing for other men to see me. because that's what he was
So
doing.
in short, Winnie, what you're saying is don't stay in a relationship or marriage for the sake of the children, because a lot of women do that. They stay because of the children. What am I going to do? The children know their father, they know me, and their dad as mom and dad. So if I leave, the children are going to get lost. So if you feel like that's not your place, do the prayer, walk away. That's what you're saying.
So how does that what you are detouring? How does it lead to high rate of divorce?
It does, because I think I should have consulted my God before I got married to my ex.
Okay, so the cardinal thing you're saying, you're telling us is that before you jump into the water, know how deep they are. If you don't know how to swim, you're not gonna cross over.
And you're that way we're gonna save not to have so high marriage, so divorces.
You know, even the Bible says it's better to live on the roof of the house than to stay with a nagging woman. The woman who
And a nagging man.
Yeah,
Both ways.
but the Bible says the woman. And then
I wanted to add on prayer. Like I prayed.
I'm telling you.
I wanted to add on prayer.
Go ahead.
When it comes to prayer and divorce, and sometimes, I know we're talking about divorce, sometimes the person that you're looking for, the husband that you're looking for, is literally around the corner.
Yes.
No, when you find compatibility, my husband and I were friends before we got married. So that comes to compatibility. Even if we argue, I still miss my friend. I still miss my best friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when we talk about marriage as a union, I prayed for it. I fasted. I prayed. The man I was praying for was around the corner. And then this friend of mine that I know was like, oh, when are you married? We have the same ring. The only difference is now my ring is bigger than yours. Fool, do you know how long I prayed for this marriage? This man, for me to worry about a ring, I don't even care if it's a band or whatever. I am Mrs. Me. So it is a union that is together. That's what marriage is. So be friends, be compatible, do things together. That even if your marriage is not working, you still miss that friend, you still miss that business partner. And that goes to say, know each other before you get married.
That's it.
And don't envy people's marriages, please. I beg of you. I mean, I'm the only one who's single on this panel of these beautiful ladies. But I don't envy what Priska has, what Nelly has, and what Winnie has, because God has given them their partners by, after assessing who Priska is and who Vincent is, God knows that these two are going to go places. I shouldn't now say, Naine, I want a man like Vincent, or I want a man like Tony. It doesn't work like that. And that's the reason why things fall apart, because you're busy riding on somebody else's horse. You don't even know their destination.
You know, I heard a pastor say, and that is true, a man loves who saves him, and who saves him. He who try to challenge him, they will be at loggerheads. You know, a woman, this principle I've taken it, nanguleroline, natwambana, nabakashi, lelo inefyo balelanda, senda kwati nika baby kalelanda, fingiriro kufia fuminoko. You know, why do we call them baby? Because they are our babies. So if your baby steps you on your foot, are you gonna slap that baby?
No.
If your baby slaps you on your face, are you gonna slap back? Because you are thinking you are on equal level, so you slap back. But if you take her as a baby, now baby, like have my baby Mel, when she steps on me, she kicks me, she does that. I'm not gonna say hit her back. No, just say this is the baby. That's how we get rid of some rage which comes from our women.
I think we can go maybe to the our family. I have so many questions. I'm gonna put it up there. I think it's fun.
We can start with Manya. I think she asked.
I think umomwe muvika bopantu nanga mbala shoot.
I know. There you go.
Manya. So Manya Chituntama. Manya says men who also learn to go war room. There's even a war room. When the
Irene.
wife cheats to shame the devil, they should
That's
also
Mwenya.
do pamakufi. So you should also kneel down. That way things will balance.
Correct.
Is correct?
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't know the demon which is behind that woman.
Yes.
We have told you that this is an ordination from the Lord, and the devil fights it. So if you go physical, you go counseling. Counseling will give you will give me an intellectual wisdom. But when it comes to stuff like that, you need the intervention of the Lord to block that demon that is forcing your wife to do into that. They have cars, they have money, they have beautiful house, they have everything. But there is
Afrocentric. Yeah, go ahead.
Research from the past 2 decades show that between 20 and 25 of married men cheat between 10 and 15% of married. Woo!
That's a lot of percentage.
That's a lot of percentage.
Miss Naomi, she's from Chicago. Sometimes people rush into divorce thinking it's the easy way out. A marriage is a relationship that needs to be cultivated by both partners. As long as you are alive, problems will always be there. This is very, very profound. She's right. Like we said earlier. Princess Mangala says that's why it's good to invest in yourself and be with someone who treats you right. Partnership is important in a relationship. Just don't take your partner for granted. Love with mutual respect. Thank you so much, Princess. Priska, take that one.
I don't know how to read English.
I think communication is important, but how does that look like in marriage? It's definitely not the same way we communicate at work or with friends. It's almost a negotiation. You're right, Henry. You're right.
Henry must know Henry.
Mimi says interesting topic.
Mimi, what is it with you in the comments?
No, because I'm just I just want to acknowledge them.
Interesting topic, here for it. You know, it's very important for us to read this because we can see how people are communicating with our topic. That's the reason why it's so important. Sorry about that. Fanta says you're absolutely right, Winnie. Smile, Winnie. Thank you, Winnie. Winnie, thank you for your transparency and adding the personal experience. You summed it up well. Give it the best fight, pray, but don't ignore the red flags. Yes. The red flags are the flags that you want to run away from.
You know, sometimes you want the man to change, but the fact the person who has to change is you.
Yep.
You know, you because if you don't, you run away from this one, you go to another person. Just because now change address, the bills will still locate you.
Yeah.
The bills?
Yeah, you run away from the location because of bills. Why change our other location? The bills will still locate you. Oh, I want to attract the same kind of women, the same kind of men. It's not that. It's sometimes the change is you. It's not the people you are praying for. Sometimes we people, we are the prayer points. Stop even looking for prayer points. You are the prayer point. So deal with yourself.
Irene.
Opposing values and morals.
Yeah.
You know what? What did you say?
Opposing values and morals.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when you talk about intermarriages, whereby you marry Spanish, African, they have their values and they have their morals. I once dated this white lady, and if it were very shokulandalanda,
Mulomo, uliwa mulomo.
So I never knew that using some words. You know, I never knew that using some words, they're too big according to them, the way they value them, and they can injure somebody. When I used them, somebody's face turned red. And then through that, I started learning that, oh, their culture, their value, you can't use stuff like this. It means too much. But to our sides, we can just say it and it passes with the wind like that. So those just contribute to destabilize the marriage, but it shouldn't lead into divorce. You can talk about it. Those you can go for counseling.
Yeah.
You can educate yourself, and everything can be all right.
Yeah, and another thing is the alcohol, drugs, and gambling. It's as much it sounds like it's a personal thing. People don't realize that it destroys the home. The children are involved, because if, regardless whether it's the man or the woman that does all these alcohol, drugs, gambling, and sex, it could be a man, it could be a woman. But the one thing we have to understand is that when you are absent in a home, whether you're a father or mother, the children will see that, and they'll see the separation slowly. So you're destroying it slowly, and the person that's constantly there with the children is going to walk away. So those are one of the reasons why our divorce rates are high in so many communities, because of looking at that. You look at it like, oh, it's just alcohol. I do a little bit weed here and there. So what? My wife is not giving me sex at home. But you're not realizing it, that when you're constantly doing it, it becomes a pattern. Then you start becoming absent slowly. And the next thing is, we have to go separate ways. I have to walk away with my children. Go do your things that you love doing.
That's it.
And it's a story.
With the due respect to your statement over this, I stand to disagree, but I concur with you. Here is the situation: alcohol, drug, it depends. It depends how do you drink it. There is abuse of alcohol, abuse of stuff. People gamble, but they abuse it. You gamble out of control. He gets money. Before he does anything with that money, he knows he has a family. He goes to drink half of his salary.
Okay, that's why because of that reason. Yeah.
That's why I said excessive. It becomes
excessive.
Yes.
Excessive. Yeah. It becomes a pattern, and the next thing, you're absent.
Where you are sacrificing your family for alcohol, sacrificing your family for gambling, sacrificing your family for drugs, sacrificing your family for other stuff. That's where things becomes bad. We muntu amba no kututumanga manzombwe, but uchidulano.
I have more comments, and I think we can read some comments for a little bit. We're gonna extend it for a few minutes, right?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Nelly. Oh, Nelly, our Nelly says great conversation, and she said she enjoys this. She enjoyed it.
I miss you, Nelly.
We miss you.
Come back.
It's up to you. I miss Nelly. I don't know how you're feeling. I miss you, Nelly. I miss you. Pretty much.
Henry, a woman will never nag.
If you're treating her right, that's correct.
You are right, but we are human, made of flesh. We make mistakes, and if we say we're gonna be all the time right, we are lying to ourselves. Yes, women need respect. They need to be taken care, and they need to be loved.
Women nag because it's a reaction to an action.
Exactly.
We will just never nag if you're doing everything right. You're coming home on time. You're doing what you're supposed to do. Initially, we are meant just drink water and keep quiet and don't say anything. Eventually, when we have enough of it, then we start nagging.
No, like Priska said. No, but like Priska said, it becomes overwhelming because you can forgive. You drink water, you
When you
keep
wake
quiet,
up.
you drink water. In the end, you know
That's
what you do? You put water in the mouth and then spit it out. What do you do? Anyway, Miss Naomi says, kudos to men who don't condone physical violence. One slap is enough to get an empowered woman divorcing the husband. That's not to say that women can be physically abusive to their husbands. So thank you for acknowledging that it goes both ways. So we want to make sure that the viewers understand that when we're talking these things, we're not just saying women are the ones who are abused or they are
It's both
the
ways.
yeah, it goes both ways. Men and women can cheat. Men and women can be financially tight with their money and avoiding to spend. It goes both ways. So that's why it's a union. So people should think like a couple, like one. It's in the Bible.
Hello, Chimbi, what I understand is when a man is being abused, sometimes we want to pretend to be tough, you know. You are not showing it. Because you are a man, you want to pretend, you know what, I'm a man, I can handle this. Now we tell a fifilia. But mukati, chile kupia.
Yeah.
But there comes a time when it just explode because he wanted to be tough as a man. But toughness has its own elasticity. When it reaches a limit, it snaps. And they are snapping. It's just a reaction. Somebody has been trying to be a man so that you don't think that
Yeah, it's true.
Speaking of abuse, I want to talk about women. We always crying abuse. It's a Me Too movement. Men are so abused as well.
Yeah.
But we never talk about it. We are so
Yeah.
quick. I'm a woman first before I'm anything else.
Yeah.
We are so quick to say I'm being abused verbally, I'm being abused emotionally, I'm being abused physically. When men are abused as well,
Worse.
financial abuse is the most when it comes to men. If you don't have money, I'm not going to date you.
Yeah.
I'm dumping you because you don't have money. Physical abuse, men will not talk about it because they think they're weak.
Yeah.
So many men abuse and they don't even speak about it. We should talk about that. I think one of our topics we should talk about is abusing men.
We were actually talking about, like, we were going to bring a topic where just men should talk about the challenges that they go through as men. Like Priska said, men don't express their emotions easily, especially when they're around their friends, because it poses like a weak man. Us women, we talk about everything and anything. The moment you give us to talk about things with our friends, we spill everything because we are emotionally wired. We are emotionally wired. So we have to make sure that my friend is understanding what I'm going through. And sometimes, like, oh my God, that's what you're going through. I went through that 2 years ago. But men will not open up. They don't realize that when they do, maybe there's another man who's actually going through worse, who say, I didn't want to say it, but that now that you said it, I'm actually going through the same thing. So we should have that men's conference or men's topic for this.
On this
Correct.
one, when we bring our Insaka men, I think we're gonna have this kind of topic so that men can express themselves, because there are so many men out there who are really, really going through it. They can't come in here.
That's
you guys,
correct.
I want to acknowledge that's a friend of mine. She's from Ghana. So she's watching. Thank you so much, Adama, for watching. Go ahead.
You know, sometimes you ladies, you can tell a man that you are nothing, but without saying you are nothing, through some expression and through some statements you comment. Your husband, you are with her, is a man, or maybe it's your boyfriend, whatever, and they say, "Oh, my friend, the boyfriend of the husband got a Range Rover." What you are simply saying, yo, man up. Chinjago game. If you are diminishing that man, you may not say it directly, but indirectly, that's what you're saying. The one specific, so we are monashane. So so you force me to go steal.
But that's the thing. That's the thing that again you find the men walk away from you because it's what you are giving him at home. You actually, my husband is never home. When your husband is home, you don't even have time to sit down next to him and watch a movie with him. You are busy cooking. You never have time to do anything with your husband because it's just like. And then when he goes out, hey, mama choka chepa nyumba every day. Like, come on, girl, do something. What do you want?
And some women don't even know what their husband actually do for a living. They'll tell you that he works. He works at the bank. What is he at the bank? Is he a tailor? Is he a guard? What is he? You need to invest in knowing about your man so that you can acknowledge their strength and their power. If they get promoted, you know about it. Like, oh my God, you've been a cashier for a very long time. Now they've given you this position because you know. And it actually turns him on that my wife knows these things. I need to read this. This topic because
are you really drinking tea, Winnie?
Yes. Today it's on.
So Sandra says, my husband, I thought this was very interesting. My husband and I discuss our values, beliefs, and morals before we got married. We have our differences, but we make sure we are on the same page on decisions that we make. We raised our daughters with these values, beliefs, and morals. It's very important for you to know what you're jumping into. Like Henry said, you don't jump into the water. You don't know how deep the water is, right? You need to know a little bit about what you're going in for.
Guys, this has been amazing. We've actually gone over. Henry, what are your last words and what is your take on this? What advice would you give to those people that are going through it in marriage? They're going through it in marriage.
Thank you so much. Every marriage, whatever you go through, the Bible says you go through the valley. Even though I go through the valley of shadow of death, I shall fear no evil. But underline the word, I go through the valley. The Bible did not say you are not going to go through the valley. Ubwafia, mula senda mu valley, in the valley, you make a tent in the valley. Don't make a tent in the valley. Go through, and God will help you to go through. But many times when we are in a situation, we go in the valley and we sit in the valley and we make a tent in the valley. Everything is for the season for those who believe in the Lord. Be it is physical or spiritually, the Lord will see you through. In everything, consult the Lord, it shall be well. If you don't believe in the Lord, I don't know how I can say it, but take your time, educate yourself, know your person, be tolerant to the husband, sit down with your husband. What is it what's going on? Sit down. Sometimes screaming is not the best thing. Sit down as a normal human being in a good time
and have a conversation.
Have a conversation, and that conversation start gauging, because we come from different backgrounds with different beliefs and different things have been put in our heads, and those things are what we show in our day-to-day living. But how do you change that? You are not the creator of that person. When you have a car is Toyota, when you want to repair it, you don't go to Nissan. Go to Toyota. The Lord is the one who created that human being. Go to him and tell him about him. They will fix it. To God be the glory. Shalom.
Thank you. Irene, what are your last words and what's your take on the show?
Everything that Henry said on the man's side, because you're talking about the woman has to do this and do that. I'm going to say the same thing. The man has to do this and do that. Everything you said, the man has to do the same too. No yelling, no screaming, no, I should be enjoying coming to my house. Not when I see the blue door, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going home again. It shouldn't be like that.
Is he home?
Winnie, what are your last words?
My last words is divorce. If you happen to divorce, don't settle for less. And if you happen to divorce and you want to restart dating, please take your time, know yourself, ask questions. You just don't want to jump into somebody else's arms because you want to have sex. No, you want to jump into somebody's arms knowing that I love this man and this man gonna love me for who I am. Because guys, if you are divorced, there's still love out there. There's somebody you're gonna find who just belong, who was meant for you. But take your time if you're divorced, especially when you have small kids or young people, just children. So divorce is gonna happen. It's not a curse. It's not a bad thing. If it happened, pick up yourself, take time to yourself before you go out there and date. And guess what? I have a good man right now.
Amen. We're waiting for the ring. Amen.
Yeah, we're just waiting for the ring. We waiting. Actually, the wedding is next year. It's gonna be Saturday. I'll let you know the time.
And we are not going to contribute. We are not contributing for the kitchen party. You better just start saving. From me, marriage is sweet. If you love each other, stay. And it's okay to save a marriage. Sometimes you learn and you get to know each other as you are married, if you rushed into it. Those that are divorced, like Winnie said, there's life after divorce and you can meet your right partner. Those that are not married, the partner is coming. God will send you the right partner. And sometimes, and that's for Irene.
Yes, Irene.
Patience, guys. Patience.
Irene is single, guys.
Yeah.
By choice.
Be patient. Your right partner is coming.
Yes.
Wow.
Pray. I prayed for mine. Oh.
Yes. Oh.
I'm learning.
Mwebali pamwe basanga mulevu wako Irene yobashitisha saleni amano.
No. I'm single by choice, so I'm not looking.
No,
You better be
my messenger. I used to the messenger and
be very careful what you speak out of your mouth.
Irene.
No. Listen, I'm this is just a joke, but I learned from my peers. I learned from my sisters and friends. You know, like I've known Priska for a very long time. So when she says I prayed for my marriage, I know very well when she started and where she's at.
When she got a husband.
So it's not like she's just saying just to show off, like, you know, I now have a husband.
You know, me, I knew very well that I wanted to get married. Even when my husband and I started dating, I was like, Bushe mukangupa?
Yeah.
Before we start dating.
Yeah.
Every year, mukangupa lisa.
Exactly.
I knew I was not ashamed.
Oh,
I knew that I wanted to be married. Yes. And he was like, mukangupa eventually. So I was not ashamed. But
you can't be ashamed.
No, I wasn't. I wanted to be married.
And then this is one thing I'll say. I know we have to go. You met your best friend before you got married. So you're able to talk about Mukangpa Luisa because you wanted real.
Yes. So there's love. It's a beautiful thing to have. I know a lot of women say, "Nay, I don't care. I don't want to get married." A companionship, guys. There are times when you want somebody to watch a movie with. Somebody, it's a beautiful thing to just have that person. Honey, where you pick up milk, pick up this.
It's true. You're right.
What's the movie of the week? Yeah.
Did you just for viewers that don't understand what Henry said? He said some people supplement a husband for a pet.
Dog,
like especially. So he's saying you can't send a dog to go to the mailbox, but you can send your husband to go get you some ice cream when you're miserable. But anyway, Priska was asking for the movie of the week. We picked War of the Roses. It's a classic movie that was done, I think, in the early 90s. It was Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner. And you guys, you've known these guys in the music in the movie industry. But this movie was epic. They hated each other. They were married. They hated each other until they killed each other at the end. They both died.
That kind of marriage and love.
You know, the other one was driving like a Caterpillar, a big truck, and the other one was like in a Maserati or whatever car that was. They smashed each other until they died. I don't know what kind of love that is.
That's Romeo and Juliet love. But anyway, from us, this has been the Insaka guys. We love you. We thank you so much. We don't take this lightly. Share, let them know the Insaka ladies are here. We'll see you next week. Till next time, from us, goodbye.
Shalom.
Bye-bye.